Good morning. It is Thursday, August 6th, 2020, and I'm here, not in bed, got the garden behind me. We're going to talk about that in a minute for bed talk number 99. It's kind of weird to say, number 99. And today I want to talk about the garden, and I really want to talk about weeds, but I really want to talk about feedback. And it struck me during a podcast interview just this week of how much our approach to feedback is much like our garden. Now, the people who know me already know I don't like gardening. It's not my thing, and that's okay. I'd rather have someone else do it for me. But the people who love gardening, one of the things they've told me that they love is the removing of weeds because they get instant gratification. They can pull the weed, and once it's gone, they go, oh, look how it's different now that I removed that. But think about this. The weed is the thing that we say doesn't belong. And I think feedback is a lot like gardening. We tend to focus on what doesn't belong. We tend to focus on what's not working. We focus our feedback on what needs to be improved, sharpened. Even if it's a small thing, we say we just want to get better. We talk about this value or commitment to continuous improvement. And the outcome is we're always telling people what they need to get better at. It is apparently and clearly the most natural response, just like our garden. We look at a garden and we don't talk about how we can make the flowers bigger. We don't talk about how to make it prettier. We tend to say, what can I get rid of? What do we need to fix? What do we need to prune? And I'm going to invite you to change that mindset in your feedback. There's tons of research out there that says people need 3 times as much appreciation as what we might label constructive criticism or constructive feedback or improvement feedback. What could you do better? 3 to 1, not 1 to 1. And I would say in most organizations, most teams, we're lucky if it's 3 to 1 the other way. 3 times what you need to improve versus 1 thing you do well. And I think it's, we tell people to focus on the appreciation, focus on what people did well, focus on the celebration of the wins. But we struggle with it. We struggle mightily. And I'm thinking that part of the problem is we have been trained. Our minds are fixated on fixing things versus growing things. Think about the difference, fixing versus growing. And while fixing can lead to growth, they are very different things. So I want you to think about feedback starting today and going forward, starting with yourself, your own self-assessment. When you look, how easy is it to look at yourself and see what you messed up, what you did wrong, what you could do better, instead of all the great things you did well? I want us, and I'm inviting us to switch to finding what works well and focus on growth, not just removal of what we say is in the way, especially when it comes to fixes like a weed. And just think about that metaphor of the garden. The next time you're about to watch somebody's work or review their work, remind yourself, wait, I'm in the garden. Am I going to find the weeds and just focus on the weeds? Or I'm going to find the beauty in the garden? Because the garden is usually pretty amazing with a few weeds. And if we spend all our times focused on the weeds, yes, people get better, but they don't grow. And their culture doesn't grow, and the team doesn't grow, and the organization doesn't grow. And people are not uplifted and inspired to do even greater things. So that's it for the day. The metaphor of the garden and the weeds when it comes to feedback. So thanks for listening. Keep taking care of yourself and everyone close to you. Certainly stay connected, and I will see you back here tomorrow for Bed Talk 100.